Hey girls, Kayla here. I've been getting a lot of requests for some big voluminous curls. People will ask for Pretty Little Liars type curls. They'll send me some old Victoria's Secret pictures. They'll send me like Kardashian pictures. Everybody wants to know how to get these kind of big voluminous curls, and so I decided to do a video on it, showing you the curling method and the sectioning method that I think works best for that, and then talking through a little bit about how you arrange those curls to get the different looks that you're going for. So hopefully this is really helpful. I tried to jam pack it with as much information as I could, and because of that I actually talked through it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope it's helpful, and yeah, without any further ado, I'm going to show you how to get these awesome curls. Alright, to do this we're going to use a medium barrel curling iron, which can be like a 3/4 inch to an inch size. I'm going to use my 1-inch Hot Tools iron, and I really find that this is the ideal size for this kind of curl because a 3/4 inch tends to look like a really deep wave on my hair rather than a curl, and so I prefer 1 inch. It looks really wavy. So 1 inch is best for my hair type, and I really think that's kind of a good overall size. So that's what I'm going to do today. And basically, that's your first thing that you want to do. You want to determine what size iron you want to use. The next thing you're going to do is to section your hair. And normally when I show just a really quick way to curl your hair, when I'm showing an updo video and I just throw in the curls at the beginning of it, I go layer by layer because it's good when you're doing an updo to have kind of even curls. At least that's how I like it with most of the updos that I've done, to have really even curls throughout, and that look can be really good, but it's not the same type of look that we're doing today, because when you go layer by layer it's really easy to create pretty much identical curls all the way through because it's at the same height. You're just kind of going through the motions. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix it up a little bit with the way that we section it to kind of help the curls not to be too put together, but up the way that we section it just a little bit. We're going to do 5 sections, and the first one is actually going to be on top of our head, which is going to look fantastic. And I start at the temples, or kind of the recession area, so where your hair goes in a little bit, and from there up all the way around your head. And then I'm just going to use these little clamps. You can get clamps like this at a dollar store, or not a dollar store, like a drugstore. Really anywhere you can find hair products. These are meant really for holding curls and finger waving. They're not really meant to hold sections of hair, but I don't have a lot of hair so I can get away with it. And our next section is going to be right in front of our ears on each side. So that's going to be sections 2 and 3. And then your last 2 sections are going to be splitting this back part in half, like this. If you have a lot of hair, you might need to split those again, so you split them in half and then split it in half this way. If you have a lot of hair, I really don't, so I can get away with it. I'm going to start with this one, which is my right and probably your left, maybe. Now we're going to move on to the method that you use while you're curling. And I have one method that I think is just really good for this type of hairstyle, but it is a little bit on the tricky side. So if you've never done it before, practice and give yourself some room to make mistakes when you're first learning it. And I really recommend practicing it when your iron is cold until you really feel like you have it down, and then turn the iron on, because things can happen and you can accidentally like hit yourself in the face with the iron. Well, I have done it while you're trying to learn how to do these curls correctly, and if the iron is on, that's not going to be a good thing. So definitely practice with the iron off and then move to on. And so my iron's been heating up over here, and I keep it on kind of a medium setting because my hair is very thin, but it doesn't curl easily either, so I kind of have to find that happy medium between hot enough to curl my hair but not so hot that it destroys it. Before we curl our hair, let's put on some heat protectant. And people always ask me what I think is the best, like, general, if you only want to buy one, this one. Do it. So, curling method, here we go. You're going to take a medium section of hair about like this. This is about an inch section of hair, and I think this is a good size to use. If you use much bigger, you're just going to get kind of full-bodied waves, and if you use much smaller, you might get bigger hair than you really want. So, good little bit right here, and I'm actually going to throw the rest of this behind my shoulder so it doesn't get in the way. Then you're going to take your iron, and if it has a little stand like this, make sure that it's against the iron right here, because if it's not, it'll catch your hair and it'll be really annoying. So what you're going to do, you might have seen this before, but you're going to clamp this right near the base of your hair, and you're going to turn it. And what you're going to do is you're going to feed your hair through it gradually, so that the hair that gets the most heat is what's near the roots, and the ends get the least amount of heat. So what you can do is loosen up on the little clamp and pull away, and then curl. Now that's what I found is the easiest method for that. Just open and pull, and then curl. And as you do that, you see you're getting the roots have been on there the longest, and then the ends, which are the most fragile, are going on there last. And if you have long hair, sometimes it helps to guide the hair through it, but when it's up at the front, it's kind of easier, so I don't have to do that. But that's a good tip if you have really long hair. Make it easier. Alright, and then once you've gotten all the way through it, just let it go. And it curls right up. And like I said, this is my favorite method. It creates the best curls on me. So that's what that looks like. And then I like to just wrap it around 2 fingers like that. And I'm going to pin it up in place so it curls, or it cools in a curl. And then if that's a little bit tricky for you, then you can always just take a, inch section of hair, wrap it around the curling iron. Watch out, don't get hit like I just did. And then let it sit there. The only problem with this one really is that the whole thing of hair is getting the heat at the same time, and I really find that my curls stay better when I use the method that I showed you first. I don't know why it's better, I just know that it is. So that's, if you don't really want to learn how to do the one thing, or if it's really hard for you, you can always do this one. It works just fine, but I like the other one just a little bit better. So then you're just going to curl the rest of this section, and I'll meet you back here. So now I'm going to curl this section and meet you back here. Alright, now we're going to do these front 2 sections, and what I recommend with these is to make sure that the curls that you do here are going out away from the face. That's generally most flattering, so I think that's a good kind of tip to throw out there for pretty much everybody. Just make sure that this curls away from your face. So I'm going to do this and meet you back here. Alright, now that I have a nice little George Washington wig thing going on, we're going to go ahead and pull down this last section, which looks awesome! Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go through and curl this stuff, and then we're going to be done curling. What I'm actually going to do, though, is to separate kind of my front, like, fringe and bang area, and I'm going to do that last because I really like to shape those. If you don't have bangs, don't worry about it, just curl the rest of your hair like normal. If you have bangs that are kind of like here, just leave them. They're cool. But if you have fringe like me, you might want to pull it off to the side, and we can do that last. So yeah, now I'm going to curl all of this, and I'm just going to give it a little spritz with my very favorite hairspray, which is Got2b's Voluptuous Volume Hairspray. It works really, really well. My sister and I both really love this one because it holds your hair really well, but it doesn't look like it's hairspray, and I noticed that it adds a little bit of texture and volume to my hair. So while it's still like this, I'm just going to spritz around. That's pretty much all I'm going to do for now. And then I'm going to go ahead and unpin all of this. Alright, so now I've let these curls down, and I'm going to go ahead and style the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and take each side and just do one curl on each side. So I'm just going to use that same technique. I'm going to start right about at my cheekbone. And just work the way down the hair. Can I just mention how hard this is to do when I can only see like the little thumbnail of my flip video? Oh man. And there we go. There we go. Now what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to kind of intertwine them with the curls that are on the side. That way it keeps them out of my face. So I'm going to take a curl that's over here and just intertwine them like that. And same thing on the other side. So now we've got these really pretty curls, and what we're going to do to mess with them just a little bit is just gently, really gently run your fingers through it. Just the very ends is what I'm doing, just like the skirt of my hair, which is the stuff from here down, like the stuff that hangs away from your head, like a skirt. Alright, and then what you're going to do is you're going to kind of intertwine these curls a little bit. And you just do that as you see it works on your hair. If you don't like how it looks, just pull them back apart. Just kind of mess around until you get what you want. Alright, so here's my end product. What I've done since the last clip was just to hairspray with the Got2b hairspray again. I scrunched it just a little bit, and then I kind of shook the curls out just to make them a little bit messier. Because I like that look a little bit better. And basically, once you've curled them like this, it depends on how you arrange them as to what it looks like. If you really intertwine all these curls together, it's going to look very Kardashian-esque. If you really shake them out more, kind of like I did, it can look like Victoria's Secret. Like, I think they had this in the 2009 or maybe the 2010 show. But anyway, it's basically all about arranging it from here on. So you basically do what you want to do. If you basically, I've shaken it out just a little bit, but I cut them a little bit intertwined. So I feel like this is a little bit Pretty Little Liars type curl. So like I said, arrange it any way that you want, and then you can get kind of the look. But this is how you get the curls, and then the arranging is up to you. And that's it. Like I said, I hope this was really helpful, and I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I'll see you in my next video.